This will be for the con assignment, volume of spheres. So the formula for the volume of a sphere is equal to 4/3 times pi times r cubed. Okay, so 4 and the pi and the r cubed are in the numerator, and the 3 is in the denominator. So r cubed, or r to the third power, means you multiply r by itself 3 times. So it says find the volume of the sphere, enter an exact answer in terms of pi, or use 22/7 for pi. Okay, I highly recommend you just leave pi alone and enter an exact answer in terms of pi. So that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so we can see in this problem here, we have the sphere, and we know that the radius r, it starts at the center of the circle, and it travels to the edge of the circle. So the radius r equals 1/4. All right. So for this problem here, we have 4/3 times pi times r to the third. So that's going to be 1/4 to the third. Now, as a side note, when you raise a fraction to a certain exponent, that exponent is applied to both the numerator and denominator individually. All right? So 1/4 to the third power that is the same as 1 to the third power divided by 4 to the third power. Okay, 1 to the third power, or 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1. 4 to the third power, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Okay, so 1/4 to the third is the same as 1/64. So we have 4/3. And this we said was 1/64. And we still have the pi. Okay, and you can cancel fractions here. Okay, you could do it on the calculator. Let me see. I am going to try this first without reducing and see if con takes it. I don't think it will, but let's try. 4 times 1 is 4. And 3 times 64 is 192. And that's times pi. Okay, you can put the pi in the front, or you can put it in the numerator. That's the same thing. All right, let me see if it takes it. For this unreduced fraction, I'm going to write 4/192. 4/192. And then I'm going to click the right arrow key because I don't want to type pi in the denominator. So I'm going to type pi for pi, and it gives the pi symbol, or you can just click on the pi symbol. But I have 4 divided by 192 times pi in the box. Let's see. Okay, so far it didn't take it, so let's see if I reduce it. All right, so let's say we reduce this before we multiply. That's the easiest way, in my opinion. All right, so 64 divided by 4, that will be just 16, right? 4 divided by 4 is 1. 64 divided by 4 is 16. Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 16 is 48. So that's 1/48 times pi. Let's see if it takes it now. Click inside the box. I'll erase all this. Okay, 1/48 to type 1/48. Hit the right arrow key and type pi for pi. So it's 1/48 pi. Okay, so you do have to reduce the fractions for these. So we have our formula, 4/3 times pi times r cubed. R is the radius. It starts at the center, and it goes to the edge of the circle. Okay, so r equals 1/2. So we have 4/3. That's times pi, and that's times r cubed, so that's 1/2 cubed. All right, so remember when you raise the fraction to the exponent, like let's say you have 1/2 cubed, I'll do it right here, 1/2 cubed. That exponent gets applied to the numerator and denominator. So that's going to be 1⁵ divided by 2⁵. Okay, 1⁵ is just 1, and 2⁵ is just 8. So 1/2 cubed is actually 1/8. So we have the 4/3. And this we said was 1/8, so it's times 1/8. And that's times pi. And now we just multiply fractions, but I suggest you cancel first. Otherwise, you have to reduce at the end. Okay? 8 divided by 4 is just 2. 4 divided by 4 is just 1. And then in the numerator, 1 times 1. In the denominator, 3 times 2. And we still have the pi, so it's 1/6 times pi. So click inside the box, and you want to type 1/6 to get the 1/6. Click the right arrow key and type pi. All right, and that will give you 1/6 pi. All right, last one. We start with the 4/3, and that's times pi, and that's times r cubed. So the radius starts at the center, and it travels to the edge of the circle, so r equals 2. So in place of r cubed, that's going to be 2 cubed, or 2⁵. So we have 4/3, and 2⁵ is just 8, and of course this is in the numerator, so 2⁵ is just 8. Okay, if you want, you can make it 8/1 if that helps you, same thing, and that's times pi. Okay, so nothing to cancel. Neither of these numbers are divisible by 3, so we can't cancel. 4 times 8 is 32. 3 times 1 is just 3. And that is times pi. Final answer. So 32 pi over 3, or 32/3 pi. Remember, I said when the pi is in the front of the fraction or in the numerator, that's the same thing. All right, just to prove it to you, I'll type 32 pi. Click slash and type 3. Okay, you see pi is in the numerator, but that's the same thing as if it's multiplied in the front of the fraction.